Good morning, everyone. Well, I happen to be on my third cup of coffee. And yeah, you can always gauge what time of the morning it is by how many cups of coffee that I tell you I've had. Yes, it's late in the morning today. I've already made our breakfast, and yeah, everything's good. Made our breakfast. Now that's something different, isn't it? Because usually we eat at noon. Well, we've kind of had a topsy-turvy couple of weeks, and so yeah, I thought we could have a little chit-chat about what's been going on in our house. But before we have that little chit chat, I wanted to show you a couple things that I was able to find. And actually, I found these, oh my goodness, about a little over a week ago. But I just really like them and I had forgot to share them with you. So I thought I'd do that now. One of the things that I really needed is I needed some new kitchen towels. A lot of mine were really, really looking ratty and they needed to become rags, not kitchen towels. So I had gone to Walmart. They hardly had anything but Christmas. I mean, yeah, they still had Christmas. And I had gone to, where else did I went somewhere else. But anyways, I couldn't find anything. So I thought, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is we needed to get to Lowe's in order to buy something that my husband needed there. And at where we live, Kohl's is right next door. So I ran over there and I was able to find some really nice kitchen towels. And this is one that I thought that was really cute. It says family and it has my kitchen colors in it, that deep plum type of color. And then it has like the grayish tan. And so that, I just thought I'd hang kind of decoratively from my stove. And they came as a set of two, so this was the other one that it came with. Now this is a terry, and this is not. This is like a linen, I guess. So the other one that I found, and these came as a set also, were these. And this too has my kitchen colors in it. So I thought that was really nice. And I know here this looks more brown, but actually it's more of a taupe. It's more of a lighter taupe. It's not really showing up well. And then I picked up a couple new pot holders because my pot holders, oh man, they were really looking bad and I could not, I wash them and they were starting to fray around the edges so bad. And a couple times when I went to get something out of the oven, I had to double them because they had gotten so thin that it burnt my hands. So I got a couple of those too. But the best thing of all was as I was walking out, of course, I had to walk right by where the purses are. And yeah, they just were kind of screaming at me saying, oh, look at us, come and look at us. So I did. And yeah, I had to get a new purse because look what I found. Just the cutest purse you ever could see. And it's really nice because in here is a nice little area where I can keep my gloves. And this is a nice pocket for my phone. And then in here is a really deep pocket where I can keep my wallet. And then, of course, you have the inside to unzip and put it all in. But isn't that just beautiful? I'm sorry. What can I say? I am. That's why I don't go shopping that often because, yeah, self-control. I really need more self-control. But anyways, as you can see behind me, I rearranged the furniture. Yes, it's been a really boring week here. I mean, the last 10 days have been really boring around here. So, yeah, I went ahead and I rearranged the furniture and I thought that it looked really nice. I kind of stepped aside because, yeah, I just kind of reversed where the chairs and the couch went. So anyways, yeah, let's have that little chit chat now. Well, I thought that we could just have a short little chit chat. Hopefully it'll be short. And I would explain to you what's been happening here at our household. Well, not this week, but the following week, my husband was experiencing problems with his asthma. Now, he has had asthma ever since he was very small. And as the years have progressed, he's noticed that he has more difficulties in that area. But it's always been controlled. But it's just seemed that last Monday, things were getting to the point where just simple exertions would cause his asthma to be a problem. So he thought, maybe I should just take it easy and rest. And so that's what he did. He called up because this is a slow time of the year anyways. I mean, all through December, I think he worked a total of 5 or 6 days through the whole month. And so they said, yeah, not a problem. You stay home, you take it easy. So he did. Well, on Monday, I kind of encouraged him to call the doctor, which he did. And they said that since, this is the weird part, that since trouble breathing is a symptom of COVID, that they couldn't see him. There was nothing they could do. It wasn't the doctor's office that didn't want to see him. It was the way our state has things set up because of COVID. It's just their rules, their regulations that they put in force because of the pandemic. So they told him to go to urgent care, which he did. And they refused to see him because having difficulty breathing is a symptom of COVID, even though there is no other symptom. And he has asthma. It was obviously asthma, but they still refused to see him. They said that if he has a problem where he cannot breathe, then go to the emergency room. Otherwise, there's nothing they could do. So he gets in the car and he said he ended up calling the doctor back. Now, one thing I do want to point out is our primary care physician was on a leave of absence. She is back this coming week. She'll be back. But her father had died and then she came down with COVID. So she was out of the office and she's fine, but just a lot was going on in her life. And so our own personal physician, she wasn't at the office at this point. And so the lady that he's talking to from the office is really not happy with this whole situation. Not over Rick, over how Rick is being treated, because he's not being treated. That's the problem. And so she told him to hang on, and she talked to 2 other doctors at this office. And thankfully, the one doctor said, look, I'll see him. He has no other symptoms, so just make an appointment for him and have him come in, and I'll look at him. Well, so that's what they did, and he went into the office on Monday, but unfortunately, once he got to the office, they told him that he needed to go back out to the car because it was going to be a phone, through the phone only, because it's a symptom of COVID. Yeah. So, the doctor then calls him, and he said it was really a good conversation. They talked for over 45 minutes. In fact, she even was concerned enough because she knew it was all asthma related, but her hands were tied. And so she went out to the car to see him because, it was obvious it's asthma. That was the problem. He needed his meds to be adjusted, or he needed to add another one or something. So anyways, So she sent him down, though, to someplace to be tested for COVID. She says, we got to test you no matter what, because you have a symptom, so you got to be tested. So he went and he got tested. He got those results back, and it was negative. He does not have COVID. And so, he will be going back to the doctor on Wednesday, this next Wednesday, and this coming Wednesday. So you're seeing this on Friday, so it'll be that following Wednesday. And I'll let you know how it is. She did give him some sort of medicine that he is to inhale once in the morning and once at night. It's more like a maintenance thing that she's hoping will help him instead of just a rescue inhaler, because that's all he had. He just had a rescue inhaler. So, because that's all he's ever needed. And she says, you're just to the point now where you need more than just a rescue inhaler. So anyways, thank God he's going to be seen. Thank the Lord that it is not COVID and everything is good. But yeah, that's how our week's been. So he's been off of work all this week, which is why we were able to have breakfast. So I decided, since he's going to be off at least until the following Wednesday, that we would do what we are never able to do. And so I decided I am going to make breakfast, I'm going to make lunch, and I'm going to make dinner, and we are going to sit down at the table for each one of those and enjoy each other's company, because this is something that we never get to do. So anyways, that's what's been going on here. And to be truthful, it's been nice. So anyways, I'll talk to all of you in just a little while. Today's devotion came from Right from the Heart Ministries and is titled, How God Defines Success. Today's scripture reading is Mark 1:37 and 38. And when they found him, they exclaimed, "Everyone is looking for you." Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else, to the nearby villages, so I can preach there also. That is why I have come." Today, I'm starting out with another question, and that is, how do you define success? According to the dictionary, success is meeting or achieving a desired outcome. In other words, success is measured by our achievements, our accomplishments, or our talents, which for some can lead to money, fame, and even power. But what about God? How does He define success? Well, God defines success as fulfilling His will and purpose in our lives. So based on this definition, Jesus was the most successful person to ever live, for He was the only one to have perfectly fulfilled God's will. Which leads us to consider a second question. How exactly did Jesus live? Well, Jesus put His Father first, and Jesus never lost sight of His mission. Jesus' entire purpose was to bring humanity, us, back to God. He wanted as many people as possible to experience God's grace and forgiveness. But His disciples, they didn't always get it. In Mark, here we read, when Jesus went to spend time with God, putting God first, the disciples began to worry. And when Jesus returned, and I'm going to be paraphrasing here, Peter had a few concerns. "Everyone is looking for you," he said. Now, what Peter really meant was, "Jesus, where have you been? There are over 200 people outside looking to be healed. We have the largest church in the region, and the momentum is really taking off. Let's stay focused and get to work." But Jesus, who had put God first, and having spent time with the Father, remained focused on His mission. Instead of catering to the crowd, He told Peter that it was time to move on and go somewhere else. Yes, miracles are important. The ministry is important. Helping is important, but nobody's heart is changed by miracles alone. Jesus remained focused on His calling by staying connected with God, even contrary to his disciples' good intentions. Life happens. So our lives can be filled with distractions of family and friends and work and obligations and even social media. Not all distractions are bad, but if we aren't careful, we can lose sight of God's purpose for our lives. So how do you define success? Is the success you're seeking only temporary, or is it eternal success that lasts? It's my prayer that each of us will be successful God's way. God bless, and I will talk to you again on Tuesday.